Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the garden today. We're going to go over a little video on my scented geranium mosquito plant here because we did a little video last year on propagating some cuttings off of my plant, and this is my plant right here. So this is the mother plant we were propagating off of. This is her stem right here, which I just cut this top off of it right there because she was really stalled out from the cold weather we've been getting. We dropped down in the 40-degree range, which stalled her foliage out a little bit. Now the real name for these is a scented geranium, but they are called the mosquito plant, citronella. And you can see their foliage is so beautiful. I love this plant. And we have one big plant we propagated, two big plants we propagated, and three big plants in here we propagated. And I want to show you guys the little propagations we took from it because they did root, and I just want to go over a little bit of tips on how I did this. Now when you take a little cutting from this plant, you want to make sure you get you want to make sure you get a side shoot. See these side shoots that are growing out of here like that? See that side shoot? See that side shoot? See that side shoot? Well, you want to wait till those shoots get about yay big, about 4 inches big. Then you can go ahead and plant them in this container. You want to cut where this, now they will have a green part and they will have a woodsy part. You want to get that little 4-inch cutting when it's that small and it's got that woodsy stem on it. You don't want to cut into any of the green fresh growth because roots won't grow out of that. So I cut down to the brown stem, and then I only take the small branches. I don't cut any of the big branches. You can see this has 3 cuttings in it, and she's really starting to grow out of her pot. So we're going to transplant that one, and we're going to transplant this one. This has 1 cutting in it. So 1 cutting in here, we took the plant, we topped it. So what I did was I took this top growth, I pinched it off so I can create a bushier plant. These scented geraniums can get really, really tall. My plant got about 6 feet tall on me last year. I'll post that little video down below for you so you can see how big she was, but she was about 6 foot tall, and I had to hack her down because she was getting really tall. And you can leave them like that if you want, but I like them to stay nice and bushy and compact because then all this stem is bare in here. You can see all this new growth starting to pop out, and this is 1 cutting. It's probably, I'd say, about, I don't know, 3 months old by now. And you can see how big that little 4-inch cutting got. So we're gonna go ahead and repot that into this container right here. I have some fresh potting soil that I mixed up. So I put my potting soil in a little bucket like this, and I mix it up. I put potting soil, some perlite, and a cup of succulent soil in there to help with drainage because we do live in Florida, and the succulent soil really helps to give my pots that extra drainage material it needs so my roots don't rot out. This we had coming back. This was really, really bad. And you can see all the foliage starting to grow on it because I topped the plant. I topped each top of the plant, cut it, and then it started growing all these side branches on it. So like something like this you can take. This is something you want to take right here. See how brown that is? See how brown that stem is? It's not green. This is a perfect branch to take. So we're actually going to cut that off with you guys so we can show you how we cut it. I didn't see that on here, and we might as well because we're going to transplant it. So we're going to take that off, and then what I do is just pluck a little bit of the bottom. See, this has a little stem on it, so really I can plant that if I wanted to, but I'm going to take these bottom leaves off just so we have a little bit of a stem to grow some roots on, and so it has some stability. We're going to leave those little babies, and that's a great little cutting. You can even wait till it gets a little bigger, but you can see how woodsy that stem is. See how brown that is? It's not this green part. You don't want to cut into that green. You want to make sure it's brown, and then you'll have a really successful propagation. We're going to just use one of these containers we have sitting right here, push it in here. We're going to keep this moist, this soil moist, for a couple of days till it starts to root, at least a couple of days to a week. We don't want to keep it too sopping wet because then it starts to rot the plant out. So just moist, and then that'll start to grow roots for you. I don't propagate these in water. I don't feel like they need to be, but we're just going to go ahead, flip this upside down, make a little hole in this pot right here, and I'll be right back. We're going to pause the video so I can go ahead and flip this plant upside down and show you how we repot them. So I just wanted to show you, come back and show you the root system. I took her out of the pot. You can see she doesn't have much of a root system on there, but she's starting to get a good one. She's not twined around the bottom yet. I had a screen on the bottom, so I had to take that screen out just so my soil doesn't go all over. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wiggle the bottom. I just watered this morning. That's why it's soaking wet. So you wanna make sure you water your plant before you go ahead and plant it up so it doesn't get stalled out. And then I just shake my pots and backfill, push it down You want to hold your plant in the middle when you shake your pot, and that'll help distribute the soil really evenly all around. And then we're going to just backfill with some soil around this little container here so we can get it filled in. Trying to avoid as much leaves as you can because the soil carries diseases, and I don't want that disease getting on your foliage. You can go ahead and wash it off with some water if you need to. Just hose it down, make sure it's not in the sunlight. You don't want to water your plants foliage when they're in the sunlight because it will burn. You can burn that foliage if it's not early in the morning or something. And we're just going to push her down and snuggie her in, and that's it, you guys. We'll give her a good watering and let her jam out just like that big one there, that mother plant of ours, and we're good to go. She grows in about 6 hours of full sun a day. She also tolerates about 4 hours too. She does pretty good in both conditions, highlight and low light conditions. I haven't given her any more than 6 hours, but you can see she's doing really well. I feed with 2 tablespoons per gallon of water with fish fertilizer once a month, and my Dynagrow Grow, which is a 795, once a month. And she does really well. If you guys have any questions at all on growing her, just let me know. I'm always here for you, and I'd love to help you in any way I can. Thank you so much for stopping by, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.